Now joins us member of Rajya Sabha and also former Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringla. Sir, thank you so much for talking to NewsX. Sir, as we celebrate the 25th anniversary between the strategic partnership between India and Russia, how did you view the growing partnership between the two countries?
I think when you talk about 25 years of a strategic partnership, we have come a long way, and I think we have seen many ups and downs in the context of developments in both Russia and in India. We have seen geopolitical changes, but the relationship has endured because India and Russia enjoy a trusted partnership which is based on mutual respect, for each other's sovereignty. And of course, for each others' capabilities. And I have no doubt that as we come to this landmark occasion, we will look forward to 25 years more of an even closer and important, bilateral relationship with Russia.
So what do you have to say about the made regarding that India will stop buying oil from Russia?
Well, I mean, I cannot comment on what the President of the United States has said because I'm not privy to information that is at the levels of governments. All I can say is that the India-Russia partnership and the India-US partnership and other partnerships have to be looked upon based on their merits and the value they bring, but not through the prism of other relationships.
Sir, how do you assess India's balancing act between the West and Russia in the current geopolitical context?
Well, today there is a certain antagonism which is linked to the Russia-Ukraine conflict. I think President Trump has been working to seek, some sort of peaceful outcome from the conflict. We are very heartened by the news of the Gaza ceasefire that could bring peace to the Middle East. I have no doubt that a similar outcome is going to come about in the Russia-Ukraine conflict as well. So these antagonisms will sort themselves out, will resolve themselves, and I'm sure we will see a far more normalized relationship in time to come.
Also, sir, how India is working to strengthen the ties between Russia as far as the trade is concerned?
Yeah, trade is an important factor. It has gone up from $10 billion at pre-pandemic levels to today to almost $68 billion, primarily based on energy imports that India makes from Russia. I think it is important to rebalance that trade basket, allowing greater exports of India to be able to balance, as I said, to bring balance to that trade. We should be able to focus on pharmaceuticals, digital services, equipment and machinery, and I think there should be far more access to the Russian market in that regard.
Thank you so much, sir. So that you heard Harsh Shringla, who talked about the India and Russia growing strategic partnership between the two countries. I'm Arzu Said with video journalist Ankush for NewsX in Delhi.
जो पुतिन साहब की विजिट है वो लैंडमार्क विजिट है, ये बार जियोपॉलिटिकल सिचुएशन जो देखते आए हैं, तो ये बात फैक्ट है कि ट्रेड डेफिसिट काफी बड़ी है, क्योंकि अब 65 बिलियन का ट्रेड हो गया और अगले साल बोलते हैं 100 हो जाएगा. तो जब ट्रेड डेफिसिट बढ़ेगी तो कुछ ना कुछ होगा. एक तो हम देख रहे हैं कि वो इन्वेस्ट करे इंडिया में, कैपिटल मार्केट के थ्रू करे या जॉइंट वेंचर्स में करे, ये टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर करके करे, तो एक तो उसमें करे. कुछ सेक्टर्स उसमें चुने, टेक्नोलॉजी, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस है, ये सब सेक्टर्स में वो लोग का इन्वेस्टमेंट करने की इच्छा भी वो करेंगे. और इंडिया का एक बूमिंग मार्केट है, तब रशिया भी सोचता है कि हम भी इसमें घुसे कैपिटल मार्केट में और सब. दूसरा कि हमारे जो एक्सपोर्ट की बात है, तो ऑटोमोबाइल, ऑटो सेक्टर्स, टेक्सटाइल का बहुत बड़ा मार्केट है, फार्मास्यूटिकल्स एंड एग्रो प्रोडक्ट्स. तो ये जो नई चीजें जो कम जा रही है, इसमें ज्यादा जाए. और उनको भी क्या यूरोप और यहाँ वहां से ले रहे थे, तो इंडिया से ले सकते हैं, क्योंकि जियो पॉलिटिकल. दूसरा वो भी चाहते हैं कि इंडिया के साथ एक स्ट्रेंथ और बढ़ाए. और ये तो फैक्ट है कि हमारे वो रिलायबल और ट्रू फ्रेंड रहे हैं रशिया, और हमें और व्यापार बढ़ाना यही एक था एरिया जो लैग था, वो अब मुझे लगता है उसको प्रोत्साहन मिलेगी विजिट के बाद.
तो आपको लगता है कि इंडिया से रशिया को एक्सपोर्ट बढ़ेगा, जिस हिसाब से रशिया ने इच्छा जताई है कि हमें ये प्रोडक्ट्स में हमें इंडिया से चाहिए, सप्लाई चाहिए.
हाँ, जिस तरह से जैसे हम सोचेंगे हमारा 6.4% जीडीपी होगा, उसकी जगह ये आप लास्ट 2 क्वार्टर में 8.2% हो गया, और ये बात प्रिडिक्टेड है कि 7.8% ग्रोथ रहेगी. तो हमारा ग्रोथ भी बढ़ रहा है, तो हमें तो एक्सपोर्ट और नए मार्केट चाहिए ही. तो वो हिसाब से रसिया की ये जो पुतिन साहब की विजिट है उनके डेलीगेशन की, वो यही बार के सस्टेनेबल ग्रोथ और सप्लाई चेन रशिया के साथ कैसे बढ़े। तो मुझे लगता है कि ये फोरम की मीटिंग के बाद अगले साल हम इसका नतीजा देखेंगे और हमारा एक्सपोर्ट कई एरिया में जो नहीं था वहां बढ़ेगा।
No, I think there are many areas where India and Russia can collaborate, including in the technology space, in the area of cybersecurity, in the area of artificial intelligence, in the area of a trusted value chain for electronics manufacture. There are many such areas where India and Russia can collaborate. We have a regular dialogue on this area. Our minister also visited Russia earlier this year in June. So we look forward to closer collaboration in these spaces.
Sir, Russia's focus is on import. So what can we expect from India to export to Russia?
I
like
think
telecom, they are
electronics is clearly one area where we are looking to grow Indian exports. So, and of course, software is our largest item of export as well.
Welcome back. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on NewsX. Our big focus this hour is on Putin's India visit. The Russian president will be arriving very, very shortly into New Delhi. And now, in big developments that we're tracking, as per our sources, Prime Minister Modi is likely to receive Vladimir Putin at the Palam airport. He's en route to Palam as we speak. President Putin is expected to land shortly. This is, of course, a big gesture. This is a big breaking development. Prime Minister Modi, sources tell us, is likely to personally receive Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, at the Delhi airport when he arrives very, very shortly. Let me bring in Brian Thomas for more on this story. Brian, Prime Minister Modi's gesture says a lot, doesn't it?
Well, Uday, yes, clearly rolling coverage rather from NewsX, and we are outside the PM Awas, the 7 Lok Kalyan Marg, and this becomes a very important location because here itself is going to be a very informal, a private dinner that is going to be happening between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin itself. Now, clearly, as per sources very rightly mentioned, yes, as a symbol of gesture itself, the Prime Minister himself will be going to the AFS Palam airport to receive Vladimir Putin itself. Now, not only that, a very important location, a very important visual we'll like to show you, rather we'll be attempting to show you, because clearly the national capital has been beefed up with additional high-level security. We are outside the 7 Lok Kalyan Marg, and this area has been completely beefed up because again this is a very high key VIP area, and for today this is the most important space itself. I request my camera person Avinash to just zoom in and try to show as much as possible from our end. Now this area, what you see is the 7 Lok Kalyan Marg itself, and this PM Awas has been clearly decorated with lightings and all, and inside this entire PM Awas has been decorated for ahead of Vladimir Putin's visit itself. Now what we are getting to know from our government sources, our MEO sources itself, what we are getting to know that in another 35 to 40 minutes, Putin will be landing in the national capital, landing in Delhi, and then from there, both the Prime Minister and the President, they will be rather taking the same vehicle. They'll be coming to this very location that is behind me. They'll be entering this location and they'll be having an informal dinner itself. Not only that, there is a conversation. They'll be having an informal meeting also that is likely to happen till 8:30 p.m. itself IST. And from tomorrow early morning itself, there will be there will be a jam-packed sessions. The president itself will be going to Droupadi Bhavan itself, and then from 11 a.m. Till evening itself.
Yes,
till his
but if we
departure
talk now
9 p.m.
about this breaking input that has come in, Prime Minister Modi will be receiving President Putin himself at the airport. Remember, this was not on the earlier schedule that we had received. So obviously, it is something that Prime Minister Modi is doing personally. It is something that, of course, is done for very few international dignitaries. And it does show us, of course, what Russia means for India and what Vladimir Putin as well means for Narendra Modi. Prime Minister Modi will be receiving President Putin personally at the Delhi airport is the big news we are breaking already. Of course, many dignitaries have arrived in New Delhi. We saw the defense minister earlier. We also do know the first minister of Russia is in Delhi already. We saw how the defense minister also was welcomed with a tri-forces ceremonial guard as well, guard of honor, red carpet welcome. But now for Vladimir Putin, of course, with PM Modi himself going to the airport to receive him, that will be a very special gesture in itself, and it says a lot about India-Russia ties. But Brian, now coming back to you, since you are at 7 LKM, has the Prime Minister left for Palam Airport already?
Well, clearly, as of now, the Prime Minister is likely to leave in a while now. And from here, it is not very far itself, because right now the President will be reaching in about 35 to 40 minutes. And yes, clearly all eyes on the Prime Minister, because at this very location that is behind me itself, and in a while now he will be leaving from his residence. He will be going to the Palam Airport, receiving as a personal gesture, as a gesture of friendship towards building a mutual collaboration between the two nations also. Earlier itself, to both of the defense ministers, Indian defense minister and clearly Russian defense ministers, they met at Manakshaw itself. They held conversations, and now itself, clearly as a symbol of a stronger partnership, a stronger collaboration, the Prime Minister himself will be going to the AFS Palam Airport to receive Vladimir Putin. Not only that, this place behind me is also completely decorated with lighting, with proper guards, lights and everything, so that it looks very beautiful, and to welcome the Russian President itself. Now clearly they will be coming here, they will be having an informal dinner here, and then they will be also having an informal conversation that is going to span up to 8:30 p.m. itself, and then tomorrow another jam-packed session that will start. Uday, yes.
More breaking details, in fact, coming in now. PIB has fact-checked Bloomberg's report on the submarines. The headline of an article by Bloomberg said that India clinches $2 billion Russian submarine deal as Putin visits. The claim made in this headline is misleading. No new deal has been signed between India and Russia, as what PIB has said. The submarine lease is based on an old contract that was signed in March 2019. There has been a delay in the delivery, and the new delivery is scheduled for 2028. So PIB fact-checking this report by Bloomberg, Brian?
Well, yes, clearly PIB fact check has always been on their toes to fact check itself from earlier on itself. Clearly, all these kind of fake news or fake information that travels, PIB has been fact checking itself clearly on grounds of authentic, authentic information itself. And clearly now itself, as the President is visiting India itself, now a fact check has also been done by PIB. Again, before we proceed into further conversation, I'd like to show you this entire space also is been completely getting cordoned off, completely getting barricaded itself. Like we mentioned itself, the national capital is completely beefed up with additional high-level security. What we are showing you, there have been additional forces, additional police officials also that have been there. And what you see here itself, this entire place has been cordoned off itself.
Yes,
now
obviously
ahead,
security is at a heightened level.
Obviously
security is at a heightened level, Brian. Now, this report had claimed that a $2 billion deal has been signed. What has PIB said in the fact check? What is the real facts?
Well, clearly as of now, the PIB fact check has clearly stated that the report that speaks about the 2 billion deal is not true itself, and clearly it has also stated that many propaganda pages are posting these kind of fake informations, and this is very critical ahead of Putin's visit, to maintain that these are sensitive information until unless it comes from an authentic or verified sources. One should not believe that, and clearly PIB said that if it comes from
PIB has said that no new deal has been signed between India and Russia. The submarine lease is, of course, based on an old agreement signed in March 2019. A delay in the delivery, though, has happened, and the delivery will now take place in 2028. More breaking news now coming in. The Indian government is keen to work out on ways to increase Indian exports to Russia. Exports should be enhanced in the field of pharmaceuticals, automobiles, agricultural products, including marine products. The Indian government's efforts are aimed at reducing the trade deficit with Russia. The bilateral trade between both countries stood at $68.7 billion in 2024-25. This is highly skewed. Currently, India's exports stand at $4.9 billion, while the rest of the trade constitutes of imports from Russia. The government intends to ease this gap. Major General J.K. Bansal, defense expert, is with us live. Major General Bansal, another key aspect of this visit is going to be how to bridge the trade deficit, the trade gap between imports and exports between India and Russia, isn't it?
Good evening, Uday. Yes, that is very, very important because the trade deficit is a big. We are importing about $70 billion and only exporting about $5 billion. The gap is too much. So, as you have mentioned, this may be because we can further this pharmaceuticals, the clothings, these things can be exported as, of course, electronic also. Electronics are being flooded by China, but we will be competing that and we can make it, and this is very, very important that we can do. In addition to that, of course, we are having very long relations and very time-tested relations with Russia, and we have got this understanding, and this reciprocal exchange of logistic support is very, very important, where that will be in the field of this air bases as well as the naval bases, where India can use Russia air base for any fuel, ration, repairs, parts, etc. Similarly, and the ocean also that could be there, because Russia also involving India for this the marine route from Chennai to Vladivostok, and this northern this sea route also, where Arctic Russia is preferring India over China, where they have given proposal, and of course there will be a cooperation for making non-nuclear icebreakers, and there will be cooperation which India will be making. Similarly, there are in the defense, whether you take now, there were 5 units of S-400 was supposed to be already deal is made, 3 has been supplied, 2 more will be given over and above. Russia will be supplying us, or Russia will be giving us the S-500, which ranges about 600 kilometers. Of course, this S-400 is about 400 kilometers. In addition to that, they have offered the Su-57, which is a stealth 5th generation aircraft. And Russia has agreed even up to have the 50% technology transfer, and then it can be made in India itself. And surprisingly, very important, the BrahMos Russia will be buying from India itself. This BrahMos success story now is a big thing. So in that case, very good, and there is a kind of we have a special and privileged strategic partnership with Russia.
Well, that strategic partnership is very, very important. Pathikrit Pine, foreign affairs expert, if I can rope you in here as well. And of course, we've spoken about our defense cooperation, security ties, how those will be strengthened as well. But trade deficit, talking about this economic outlook now, the trade gap is pretty significant. I was talking about the figures just a few minutes ago, Pathikrit. How important is it to bridge this trade deficit, and what attempts will be made as well by the government at the highest level when the two leaders meet?
Uday, there is a target of increasing or enhancing the trade to around $100 billion by 2030. And I think it's more than the trade deficit. What is more important is that we have to diversify the areas of our business, which has to go beyond oil and defense. Now, if you look at what India is doing in the aftermath of the tariff which has been announced by United States, it is targeting around 40 other countries to diversify its entire trade basket. So invariably, there's a strong potential and opportunity for Indian companies to enhance their presence in Russia. Larger companies, there might be some problem because they have foreign institutional investment from Western countries. So they may be a little cagey for fear of being sanctioned by the Western countries. But otherwise, I think there is huge opportunity for companies in the arena of pharmaceuticals, for companies in the arena of, say, jewelry, for companies in the arena of making auto components, or those who are making telecom components. There is a huge opportunity for many of the MSME sectors to explore. And I think if the sanctions had not been there on Russia, things would have been far easier. But nevertheless, there are scope and opportunities for Indian companies to expand.
Yes.
And I think some roadmap will be worked out so that Indian companies without any fear can actually do a business. The rupee-ruble mechanism that is being worked out, more seamless transactions between the two countries bypassing dollar, can help that also.
All right.